On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are back at my new abandoned mini resort, or what will be a rental house here shortly, to talk about how I got scammed buying this place. Buckle up, it is a crazy story. What is going on, guys? I'm WatchJRGo, and today, like I said, we are here at Abandoned Mini Resort number 2, which is actually directly beside my house, that I bought to protect myself from bad neighbors. Now, it is a problem that the old neighbor here was actually absolutely awesome. The tenant was the problem, and the work he was doing was the problem, especially when I was mowing it for free for years for the guy who lived here, and the guys that the landlord was having do work on the house were throwing nails all over the yard and everything and ruining my life. So that landlord was basically making everyone's life miserable, and he is the villain in this story. There is no doubt about it. Now, like I said, the tenant was great, and we got along great, talked cars. He'd come hang out every once in a while, and I'd mow his yard, and he was always, you know, a cool guy to be around. But I have another problem that's not related to how I got scammed or anything like that, and that is the neighbors on the other side of my house that are literal nightmares. I kind of hate to say this because it could drive down the property value, but there are cops there incessantly. The cops never leave that house. They are just like playing pounding music all night, so the cops are always there, and detectives are always like sitting at the end of the street just watching their house. And that's been a very recent development, and I talk to their landlord all the time. She wants an insane price for that house, but I'm trying to buy it to protect myself from that one, because we needed to be quiet around here to make videos for you guys. And when there's people screaming at the top of their lungs and just pounding all day long, well, it's really hard to make videos. So honestly, the whole reason that I'm trying to buy all the houses around mine, it's not really that I am trying to protect my house value or anything like that. I just want it to be quiet and be able to make videos all day. That's really it. Now, you guys met the old neighbors that just moved out of the other side of my house. They were incredible. It was Jackson and Angel that had that on-3 turbocharged Mustang that was over here. They had that Focus ST. They had that huge lifted Ford. Super, super cool people. And unfortunately, they moved out, and I got the short end of the stick with the new neighbors. So we're gonna solve that too, I think. I think we're gonna solve that problem. But this problem, the Abandoned Mini Resort number 2, was a long fought battle. So basically, the old neighbor lived there. He said that he thought the old owner would sell the place, and I was like, oh, well, give me his number and I'll reach out to him and let's put something together, right? So he gave me the guy's number. I texted him. He never said anything back, but then one day he shows up at my house at like 8 a.m. just beating on the front door, which is insane. I don't know who beats on the front door like they need to break the glass to get in, but I come outside and he's like, hey, I'll sell you that house for $90,000. And I had already been discussing it for a long time. I figure that house is worth $75,000 on its best day. And maybe $85,000 if I had to stretch it out, but that's the answer, right? Between $75,000 and $85,000. It's 865 square foot, you know, it's super, super old. It needed a lot of help, as we found out this week after working on it like crazy to get ready for the new tenant, and solve all the, you know, neglect from the old landlord, which there's still plenty more that I could solve on that house. I actually want to re-roof it again. But it doesn't leak at all, and it is a new roof, only 1 year old. So I guess I'll leave it for a little bit. But anyway, he came over, he said he'd sell me that house for $90,000. And I said, I'll think about it. And I waited about 4 months. And that's on me. You know, I waited until the recent change happened when the old tenant passed away. And then I was like, well, I better get going. If I'm gonna buy this place, it's gotta happen quickly. So I ended up getting the correct number. And that's what happened when I texted him. He never texted me back, is when I got the number, there was one number transposed when I got it from the old neighbor. And that's fine, you know, no big deal. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I'm the next door neighbor, lives beside this house, and I want to buy it. I'll give you your $90,000. He's like, I said $90,000? I shouldn't have. It's worth $95 with that brand new roof on it. And I said, I called you to offer you $85,000, and that roof is terrible, and I still have to clean up everything that your handyman left behind. And he was like, okay, well, if I said $90,000, then I guess I'll do that. Call me back within 48 hours if you actually want to do the deal. So I waited. I gave myself another day to think, and I called him back about, 30 hours later, the next day or something like that. And I said, you know what? let's do this deal. And to that, he said, I'm busy right now. Let me call you back in a bit. I'm with my son in the truck and I can't talk about this at the moment. So I said, fine, right? What else are you gonna say? I totally get not wanting to have these conversations driving in the car. So I said, fine. And then I never heard back from him. I think I called him again later that day and he said, hey, I'm busy still and I'll call you later, right? The next day, he comes banging on my front door again, like it owed him money, and he goes, I'll sell you this house for $99,000. My sons think I'm crazy and that I'm selling it to you way too cheap, and I just shouldn't sell it to you at all because I made a bad deal recently, and they're not getting enough money out of this or something. Right? The craziest thing, he's like, how old are your parents? You know, I'm probably 10 years older than them. And you know, you start thinking your parents have lost it and I should sell it to you for more, or I just shouldn't do a deal with you. And in my head, I was like, whatever, dude, this is the definition of bad business. Like the pure bad faith from beginning to end on his part here. But he said, I'll sell it to you for $99,000. So I called one of my real estate friends. He said the deal penciled. He was like, just go ahead and do it. But I would have told him off already. You're being way too nice. And I'm like, I know, but like, I just want to get this done. He didn't really have me over a barrel or anything until I got the loan. The next day, 2 days later, I got the loan and the money was wired to my account, and I called him and I'm like, hey, I'm going to get this check for $99,000 and I'll meet you at the bank so we can sign for this house. And he said, it's $100,000. I have never been more angry in my entire life. It wasn't the $1,000, it's that this dude is a lying scam artist, bad actor. Still mad. I'm residually mad, and it's been almost 4 days. I mean, if there's anyone that deserves a good knockout in a street fight, it's that guy. I'll be upset about that forever. This dude is the definition of a lying scam artist. He's like, well, yeah, these other guys showed up the other day and they offered me $110,000 for it right now, and my sons are saying that I should bail on you and just take their money. I have video of me talking to those guys. I can happily show it to you from my security system that just sits there and watches. They were over there walking around. They're like, yeah, it's worth 75 grand. We were gonna offer him 75 grand. I know for a fact that that's what they offered him, and that guy is just a straight-faced liar. He was staring right in my face and lying the whole time. Unbelievable how much of a scam artist this guy is. Just ruining lives, right? He doesn't take care of his tenants. He screws everybody over on business deals. Oh, what an absolute scam. But I was about to start screaming at him on the phone at that point. I was like, you said $99,000 yesterday. And I raised my voice quite a bit. He's like, I'll tell you what, you're gonna get like some prorated taxes back, which I think he was lying altogether. It wasn't done at a title office. Like, this whole thing is stupid. He just handed me the deed. So I really don't think he's paid any of the taxes. I'm definitely not getting any money back. Just a liar from beginning to end, but he said he would do $99,500. So I went and got him a cashier's check for $99,000, and I was like, here's the actual price that you sold it to me for. I brought $500 if you want to be a scammer, and I'll give you the $500. So that's how it went down. I took him $500 in cash and a real cashier's check for the rest for the actual price, and he was like, no, you're giving me the $500 or we're not signing this. Just what scum of the earth, what actual garbage. But I'm not gonna say his name. He's out there, he knows what he did, and now you guys know what he did too. That is the story of how I got scammed buying this house. I did end up paying $99,500. That buyer doesn't exist, but luckily we had a tenant put together almost immediately who seems awesome, and he's also, the seller had offered it to him before for too cheap. So now I was like, I'll honor his price. I just want him out of the deal. So I offered it to the new tenant for what he was gonna get it for without any improvements, and we did all the improvements. And he's moving in today, and the world moves on, and we will make that place nicer as time goes. So it can only get better, and then we'll get the one over here, and everything is gonna be great, guys. It's gonna be hunky-dory, and I'm gonna be very happy. And I think in like 6 months, I'll forget what a scam artist this guy was. And hopefully he has to live with it for the rest of his life. I do want to add one more important note to this video. If this wasn't the house next door, I would have walked day 2. The very first time he changed the price, I would have walked. But it's kind of like it's in a bad place where I knew the cycle would continue if I didn't interrupt it. So all I could do was try to be an agent of change. So like I said, would have walked instantly if somebody tried to scam me like that, but I did kind of want to make sure I controlled this place. Not to mention the guys he sold the land to around the house about 2 years ago. I want to be a huge pain to stop the development they want to try to put in there. So I kind of had to buy it for that too. I do not want a development behind my house where it should be an empty field. The best part of this whole deal was when I got the loan for the house, I told him that I was literally getting a loan, and he was like making fun of me, you guys and your internet money, because I used an internet lender. And then he goes, well, you have $100,000, so pay it to me. I was like, what? Oh, anyway, now you guys are fully up to date. That is the story of the new house. I have to go to Lowe's and do a bunch of returns for parts we didn't need and get a bunch of other parts for future fixes, the outlets and switches for that house. And, you know, just try to solve the money situation over there. I'm gonna be losing, I think I'm gonna be losing $300 or $400 a month on rent. It's good business, right? Great business. The mortgage itself costs more than the rent. And then after you factor in taxes and insurance, I lose $300 or $400 a month to operate it. So the tenants are kind of living there for free in my mind. That's not a good place to be business-wise, but I'm so happy that I should never have to speak to the seller again in my life. It's worth it. It's actually worth that much money. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Also, we're gonna sell my old Corvette as soon as it's done here, maybe another week or something like that until it's totally fixed. We got some big updates coming on that, and all of that money is gonna go directly to the house loan so I can pay it off faster and then hopefully make some actual money on rent. Or not even make money, right? But at least not be losing insane amounts of money. So here in a couple of weeks, the situation over there should be better. We'll get this sold and we'll get to work on some other projects, but I've got some cool stuff picked up for this car and I can't wait to show it to you guys. It's coming so soon.